right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. Hope for those that are able to relax on Sunday, please take advantage of it. For those who have to work or like a realtor, you're always working, always working for the better good. But yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. For those who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Daniel Umstead. I'm the owner of the Nathaniel Group, and every single morning, 5:30 a.m. I like to go over with you resume writing, real estate tips, and motivation. So without further ado, hop right into it with today's show, morning, live, video, however you want to call it. I just want to go into actually financial burden. Not everybody is able to pull themselves out of their hole, or everything seems to be going great. For those who are in sales, like you're getting your leads, you're making appointments, and it's like, oh man, it's gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna be good to go, and all of the appointments fall through. All your sales leads are no longer interested in the product or the service that you have to offer. I've talked about this before, keep going and keep staying at the test. But above all, because everybody's personal financial situation is different. Everybody's is different. Even if you're living in the same household, everybody's is still going to be different. So I want you to realize that your current situation, current financial situation is temporary. And the reason why it's temporary, because you have an opportunity to change it. And nobody's going to look at you any different if you have to do extreme measures. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go out there and do your thing. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that, if you needed to do Uber and Lyft for a while, if you need to pick up a part-time job, just keep in mind that when you do that it is strictly temporary, think. And for me, because this happens to me all the time, I'm like, yo, how am I going to be able to do this? I got to pay this. I'm getting paid on this. I'm supposed to be paying for this. I did not realize I was going to be paying for this month. So it happens. It by all means happens, especially once we do get to the level where we need to be at. So eye to eye, face to face, as we here are today, please do not burden yourself with your current financial situation. And that brings me into story time. Story time, Dan? You never told us there was going to be story time. No. Just something that I definitely want to bring up today in regards to it. So, I think I was 10 or 11 years old. My grandma, rest her soul, she had passed away some years back. But my grandma had given me, and mind you, 10 or 11 years old. It's like 20. I'll just say 20 years ago. So, I'm 10 or 11 years old. My grandma had given me I think it was $10. Yeah, $10. My grandma had given me $10, and it was me and my mom, and we had just left my grandma's house. Now, mind you, 10, 11 years old with $10, I'm thinking I'm rolling in the bank. I'm like, what can I do with this $10 right here? Should I get some candy? Nah, there's this toy I wanted to get. Oh, shoot, you know what? And I think at the time I had a Nintendo 64, so I was like, well, if I got the Nintendo 64, then I could definitely get a couple more games to go with it, or I could find some used games. This is going to work. So, me and my mom were in line because we needed to swing by the store. She was like, oh my gosh, I need to grab some milk. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So we get in line, and Mama's like, oh shoot, you know what? I do not have the right wallet with me. Women, y'all need to explain that to me. How is it that, now I could see if you just completely forgot it completely, but when I hear, oh, I don't have the right bag, or, oh, this isn't the purse that I usually wear, I'm like, wait a minute. No, your personal items and belongings should all be together, before you leave. Now, if you forget something, that's cool, but don't be grabbing a bag, transfer the stuff from one bag to the next. Anyway, that's going to be a whole nother discussion. I don't want to get into it. But above all, my mom was in line, and she looks at me, and she's like, oh, shoot, hey, didn't grandma give you $10? Let me get that $10. And, as soon as we get home, what you call, I'll give you the money. And I'm like, ew, no. When I say I got told out, pulled out, left, right, up, down, I definitely did that day. Definitely did. So, I say that to alleviate some pressure for you all, get a good laugh out of you, and above all, just realize, for me, at that time, at 10 years old, 20 some years ago and everything like that, $10 was a whole lot to me. $10 was like golden. Now, $10 right now, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'll use it, I'll throw it in gas or whatever, but I mean, this is going to be a and gone type situation with the $10. So, 100, I could work with that. 1,000, taking care of right with that. So, that goes back to your current financial situation. You're going to look back on this and laugh. It just happens. You're going to look back and say, I don't even know why I was stressed. I don't even know what I was thinking in regards to it. And even for yourself, think back in regards to when you had to struggle. If you did come up that way, where you had to struggle, or if you were in college, or even if you were going through a major financial crisis, like once you got older and everything like that. The main thing is, or you've known somebody. It's either you've known somebody, folks, or you yourself have already gone through that situation, or you prevailed. So keep that in the back of your mind when you're thinking about your current financial situation, your current financial burden, or your current bills that are coming up and everything like that. Just think in the back of your mind, like, you know what? I've been through worse situations than this. I'm going to be better. Oh, and to add on top of that, this is really going to make you better. Think of it as in a positive way. I know what you're thinking. How am I supposed to think in a positive way that I got $50 to last me for 2 weeks, and then even when I get paid, I'm actually going to be less? So when you think of negative situations in a positive way, it actually creates a better outlook. And in addition, you're not stressing over that. Because imagine this, if you will. For the people who are in sales, for the people that rely solely on 100% commission, and I like myself, I'm definitely working full time until that transition occurs. But for the time being, look at it as that. What was I getting to? I swear, with the live, it's like going, and then, what? No, with the commission and everything like that, just think to yourself that, you know what? I'm glad I'm actually in this. I'm glad that I'm being pressured to figure out what I need to do, because with a diamond starts off as coal, right? But it takes pressure to form it to where it's supposed to be this beautiful diamond, this beautiful gemstone, because nobody looks at a diamond ring like, whoo, dang, oh, man, I wonder how long that coal had to deal with in order to get to where it needed to be at. That is crazy. Whoo, how much pressure did that take? Nope, they're checking out the clarity, the color, making sure the cut is correct, making sure the size is right, or if it's something around the neck, like, oh yeah, this is going to look good with my outfit. So nobody looks at the hard work. Nobody reflects back on the hard work of what a diamond has to go through in order to become a diamond. Same for you. Nobody's going to reflect on the part that is like, dang, Dan was up till 2, 3 a.m. trying to figure this out. Or Dan was up till 2, 3 a.m. trying to figure out his next game plan to get better. Even basketball players, athletes, like, oh man, he made a great touchdown. I wonder how many passes he had to go through in order to get that touchdown. Shoot, I want to know how many times that this person had to wake up early and start running just to get motivated in the morning. Nobody's going to check that. Nobody's going to check that. So for you, with your financial burden, hey, if it's something on your mind, spend the time on it. Get angry about it, get frustrated, be like, oh, I got to get through this. But above all, just think to yourself, you know what? I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm glad I'm going through this situation. I'm glad that, I had to figure out situations now, because Imagine when you're dealing with $1 million account. Are you going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. You know, we're supposed to be bringing in $250,000, and right now I need to be paying my 10 employees. Or are you going to sit back and be like, I need to pay my 10 employees. I'm dealing with $1 million account. Man, I remember when I was stressed about $10. Or I'll back it up since, of course, this is my story. I remember when Dan was stressed about $10 when he was a kid, that he had to get to his mom for a gallon of milk. Now, I'm not saying the gallon of milk costs $10. I'm just saying that she needed $10 towards a gallon of milk or some other groceries. So I don't want you to think like, wait, what future were you living in where a gallon of milk was $10? No. So in the past. And so how to stop, or I should say, how to get out of your financial burden, how to become debt free much, much sooner. Appreciate it. Take it all in. You know, I appreciate the fact that it's like, hey, I need to work on this. Hey, this is great. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that I got all these bills that I got to focus on. I remember a time when I didn't have these bills. Shoot, I remember a time when I wasn't even in this position to get to where I need to be at. Wow. I remember a time I was begging for a family, thinking like, oh man, this is great. I remember when I wanted kids, and it's like, now I have them, now I go through it now, and now. So this now, it's temporary. Your yesterday was temporary. Your last week was temporary. Your months ago was temporary. Your 5 years ago was temporary, you know? And think about it like that, you know, for those that have grown with themselves, for those that know others that have grown, you know, look at 5 years back, like, dang, where was I at? What was I doing? I myself, I was unemployed looking for a job 5 years ago. You know, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Now I've been at the current job where I'm at right now. Praise God and all. But you got to think back to those situations and make yourself human again. You're not a superhero. I mean, if you are, let me know, because I got a few things and a couple of banks that we can look into and all. I'm kidding. But no, you're not a superhero. You're human, you know, and you're not going to, your life to this point has gone through so much as it is already, even if it was just one thing, or 5 minutes on something. I don't care how young you are, how old you are, when you look at this video, your life has already gone through so much, you know. So take that in, realize that, and then scrub the eyes out, wash your face, and say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. So, financial burden, how to get out of it. Stay positive and thinking about it. My realtor tip of the day. And this goes for buyers and sellers and realtors. So, all combined into one. Here. Your time is of value. You know, as a realtor, your time is of value. I don't want you to feel as a realtor that you need to spend your whole weekends showing homes, or you need to spend your whole week dealing with this one particular buyer. It's like, oh, I'm interested in this property. Oh, I'm interested in that property. Oh, I definitely want to look at this property. Oh, this property is going to be amazing. Your time is of value. So if you're unable to make it, even if you just need a break, then you're unable to make it. Definitely weigh out the risk. You know, if you know that, hey, this weekend is the last weekend that they had told me that they're going to be done looking for a property, then, you know, treat it as this last weekend as a home run. But if they're saying like, you know, if we don't find anything next weekend, I'm fine waiting until next year to look for something. Wait, what? Because that time and energy could be put towards something else. That time and energy could be working on another sales, another closing, another deal. So, and even with my buyers, you know, if the realtor's wasting your time and the contract, sellers, if the realtor is not doing what they're supposed to be doing in selling your house, cut them short. You know, there's always going to be that better relationship and better rapport that you're going to have with another realtor, and vice versa. Realtors, you're going to have another better relationship with other buyers and sellers better than other ones. So it's inevitable and it will occur, but your time is of value. So make sure you utilize your time to benefit you and not benefiting the buyers, sellers, and vice versa. My sellers and buyers and first-time homeowners, make sure that your time is of value and the realtors providing you value in that same time frame. And my resume writing tip of the day is After your interview, after your wonderful, wonderful interview, and you felt it did great, thank you note. Now, for those that are pretty much in my age range and older, you definitely know what this is. If you don't know how to write one, sample thank you letter after interview. Now, if you feel that, oh man, they're going to be making decisions, definitely the whole snail mail approach as far as mailing it in, yeah, scrap that. Did you get their email address? Oh, you don't have their email address? Did you call to get their email address? And it is personal and private information, but at the same time, you're doing something more than a good majority of applicants and candidates. So if you forgot their email address, call back in the office. Hey, my name is Daniel Umstead. Recently had an interview for the associate position working within your company, and I wanted to get potentially my future manager's email address in order to send him over a thank you letter, or would I be able to send it to you in order to forward over to him? I just wanted to express my interest further in the role. That's it. That's it. And then from there, you Google sample thank you letter after interview. If you need help on that, feel free to give me a call, 267-702-3756. But above all, doing a quick rerun, financial burden. Look at it as positive. Your realtor tip is make sure your time is valuable. And last but not least, for the resume writing, be sure to write a thank you letter after every interview. So thank you again so much for joining me. If this is your first time viewing, hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button on this YouTube video so that way you can get daily. Yes, daily. Oh my gosh, did he say daily? Yes, daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get daily videos coming from me, Daniel Umstead, the owner of the Nathaniel Group, in which we go over motivation, real estate, and resume writing tips. Have a great one, and as always, stay blessed, my fellow millionaires.
Fleslet on the beat.